So here we are. Welcome back to Flagship Digital Insights. Today we are talking about email marketing. We have the founder of Shotgun Copy, Andy McGillivray, here with us. Andy, how are you doing?
Hi Ben. Yeah, very well, thanks. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. Appreciate your time.
Hey, no problem at all. This should be really good actually, because this is a bit of a topic that's often overlooked and not too often talked about. But actually, email and email marketing is such a good way of communicating with your audience if it's done in the right way. So
Yeah.
to really gain a few insights from yourself should be amazing. So I mean, let's dive straight in. So for businesses just starting out with digital things and has finally made the decision, right, we need to do email marketing. Kind of where do you begin? Where do you start building the lists? What are the important things to do when you start doing that?
Okay, so when you have decided to start building a list, great. That's the first step, the most important step. The best thing you can do, get a lead magnet on the go. So a lead magnet is basically it's just like a PDF or a piece of content that's intended to attract prospective clients to your internet site, or wherever it might be, your landing page. Get them to put their email address in on that landing page. You snaffle that up. And then you give them the free gift, the freebie, and they walk away with that, what they deem is going to be good content for them, something to help them, provide value to them. They'll give you that address generally. That's the idea behind that. Build your list that way. And then you can get them on board your funnel, I suppose, then your email funnel. Get that going and give them value, sell to them, do whatever it is you're looking to do, really.
Okay, and often, like, how do you get that lead magnet in front of them? So is it always on things like social media? I've seen it done at shows and things.
Yeah.
What's the best way that you've come across?
There's a number of ways, I suppose. You need to drive traffic in some way, like you say, to that lead magnet to get their email address. So you'll probably see it all over Facebook ads. You're scrolling through your feed, you see this guru, that guru advertising, in front of a whiteboard. Click on this, you can have this and that.
I made millions. Come and do it.
Yeah. Six figures in a week, all needs your email address, that kind of thing. So, that's one method. Excuse me. Get out in terms of yachting, the marina activity, probably go out to shows, typically networking, get people, talking, speak to them, drive them to your website, to your landing page, whatever it is, talk to them about that, promote it in that way, face to face. Social media, again, Twitter is another good one, LinkedIn, they're all good things to post about what you're doing, and try and drive traffic that way.
Right, okay. And so if you've just got their email, how good is that? So you'll have how you got that email, or whichever lead magnet they went after. What other information is actually really important? So you've got things like name rather than kind of lead 2002.
Yeah.
And being very impersonal. What other information can be used to market just to that next level to them?
Well, you can. I've seen it done with a few retailers online. I'm talking about e-commerce sites and what have you. A few retailers on their sign-up pages will ask for your email address. They'll also ask for first name, last name. Date of birth is a good one to get, so you can send them birthday goodies, discounts. People love a discount when it's a birthday. People don't love so much getting an email saying happy birthday and then that's it. If it's my birthday, I'm going to want a discount, right?
Yeah.
I'm expecting it, especially if I give you my date of birth. So, you can just tag people and segment your audience initially while you're at that very first stage of getting their email address. So get the date of birth, get their interests. If you've got, let's say a fashion site, are they interested in particular types of clothing? Bang, bang, bang. Just a couple. Don't flood them with choices, before you've even got them on your list. That's a good way of, segmenting your list initially.
Yeah. So the choices thing there is quite interesting. So I'm of the belief that one action is best, because that's all you want, that's all you need, and that's in some ways all we can expect consumers to actually give. It's one click, one action, one email, done.
Yeah.
Would you always recommend that in all your email marketing, and just have one really clear call to action, and that's enough, or would you kind of give them a few more options?
I think so, yeah. Obviously you've got the options of going a number of different ways by asking for different information, and in some cases that might be okay, depending on the type of business that you're running, but as long as you get that email address, that's what you need for your list. Now granted, unless you're targeting the right group of people in the first place, you could have every Tom, Dick and Harry giving you the email address, and then suddenly you're firing out your email marketing to people who just haven't got a vested interest in your business and what you're trying to sell to them down the line. People who simply can't afford a yacht, they're not going to want to hear about tours of a yacht and, with a view to buying one if they can't afford it, So, very simplistic way of looking at it there, but just try and, target the right people initially when you're driving traffic to that landing page, your website, whatever. That's the best way you'll get a more refined list, better data, really.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons. I don't think I've ever seen this. I've never seen a stand at a boat show that is just collecting emails and just collecting leads. I'd love to see it. I'd take a picture. I absolutely love it. But I'm yet to see one, and I'm amazed now I think about it. But it would be so powerful, because you've got that audience there, and it's so much easier to do. You don't have to say, right, give us the money, right, there's your boat, it's done.
Yeah.
Just a really small ask to get them just into that funnel, just right at the top, and then for the next 6 months, for the next 3 years, 5 years, whatever. And because they've opted in, they can now be marketed to and actually want it as well.
Yeah, and that would probably be the most valuable stand at the show, to be honest, because even the amount of the money you could make from those leads potentially over the years, like say 3-5 years time, if a couple of those people buy a mega yacht, you're laughing, aren't you? So it's a great idea for a show, that.
Right. Okay. So you've got a whole range of businesses that are listening, and they're in kind of the marine industry, but also right up to the yachting and the super yacht industry. But with that, you get a whole mix of companies that are often small family businesses, one-man bands, and then you've got large corporates as well. So is there a really different approach that applies to different companies at different stages when it comes to email marketing?
I don't think so. I think, the general rule of thumb applies no matter what the size of the company is, whether you're a one-man band or whether you're a multinational, big corporate. You still need that. Fundamentally, you need the email address for that customer. That's the main method of communication with your potential client. So go after that in whatever way you need to. I think the difference is just that depending on the size of your business, obviously that your marketing budget will increase or decrease to size. So if you're obviously a big corporate, you're going to be able to throw thousands of pounds into your marketing budget, probably have a massive team. You can offer larger incentives, perhaps, and won't take as a bigger hit on your bottom line further down the line. Where if you just a one-man band selling, I don't know, yachting, marine accessories, something like that, and you probably can't afford to throw such big discounts because everyone comes after them. Suddenly, your profit's going to plummet and take a real hit. So, I Yeah, it does depend on size, but
Do you see in corporates the kind of you lose that personal feel,
yeah,
to the one individual?
yeah. So like, I think people are more interested in a brand story, I think, and if you can relate to someone. If you're I don't know, a family-run business, and you're relatable. You're real, you're personable, and you can tell a story about hard graft and how you've worked all the hours God sends, and you've invested everything. You've remortgaged your house, run your business, this and that, and that really hits home with a lot of people and makes you more saleable, I suppose, and people are more able to connect and relate and build trust with you in that way, compared to a faceless corporate who might just be, throwing discounts left, right, and centre. So
And it's probably a huge part of that because it needs to. I suppose it's all about resonating with the consumer. So if you've got an inspiring story about your business, if the consumer is likely to maybe know about that kind of experience, or have gone through that experience themselves, is that something you try and get into the emails in terms of the messaging for them to be really powerful?
yeah, totally, 100%. I mean, if you've got a story, stories sell. They really do. I mean, everyone loves a story, right? I think humans are like hardwired to appreciate a story, to listen to stories first and foremost. So if you can sort of weave your product, your sales pitch almost into a story that people can relate to, I think you can really hook them in, um, and that's very appealing. It's definitely, if you're talking about email copy, um, selling products through stories in email is big. It's big business, and a lot of people are teaching that method because it's successful. It works. People buy with storytelling. So yeah, definitely go that route if you can.
Yeah, and it always gives someone something to say, doesn't it? If you just heard a
Yeah.
story, you go and tell the mates, they just have a little bit of social value to kind of spread around their side of the group.
Yeah, totally. We're talking like, yeah, where do you not hear a story down the pub, in the workplace, in the shops? You hear people over talking. Stories are everywhere, and it's fundamentally part of our existence, isn't it? From around the campfire, you're telling stories, and if you weave that into your marketing, I think you're onto a winner.
Yeah, yeah. I always have fun with the insurance companies of the industry. Big boats going wrong. It
Yeah,
comes with a good story. Uh,
yeah. Some stories are worth telling, some perhaps not so.
yeah, hush hush. Some have been blown up a little bit to make a really good
Yeah,
story, but it's tons of fun.
yeah.
So, you could have chosen any kind of sector to go into, and you've kind of honed into e-commerce for your business. So, why have you specifically gone for e-commerce, rather than the other types of businesses out
I think purely because it covers such a broad range of businesses. I think there's a lot of people. E-commerce is really anyone that's selling something online, isn't it? So that is thousands of businesses. For me, it means there's a lot of fish in the pond. I can go after a massive, a massive amount of potential custom. Often the trouble is going and finding who wants to work with you,
there?
purely not because of who I might be, but purely because they don't know they need email marketing. For example, they just don't know they need it yet. I think everybody would benefit from it, especially in today's day and age, where sort of the gaze is now firmly set on e-commerce in particular, with what's happened to the world at the minute. Everyone's shopping online more so than ever before. So there's a real focus there now for business.
No, I think that's very true at the minute with yachting more so than ever because traditionally they've been way behind in digital, and now with what's arose, they've not really got any choice but to dive into digital, and
Yeah,
because it hasn't been that kind of smooth progression, it's been a really sudden acceleration into go for it. And so that kind of bridge of knowledge is one of the reasons why we're doing this show. But
Yep.
also, it's almost scary what some companies are doing and missing out on, and just their approach to it. And it's often just simply because they don't know how to, or they don't know where to start.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, that's it. You know, there's a massive gap there, isn't there? People who suddenly found themselves sort of flapping around almost aimlessly, thinking, "Oh, how am I going to survive?" You know, and what do I need to do to push more sales? And I know I need to be on digital. But what do I do? How do I market myself online? There's a lot of noise out there at the minute by people who, you know, are competing for business, and you know, there's a lot of email marketers out there. I'm competing with those as well. Email marketing is a good way to get your business out there and to sell, but it's not the only way.
Yeah, absolutely. So just before we go, let's try and get some tips that these companies listening can actually use straight away. So have you got any phrases, especially relating to kind of call to actions, that you often go to in your emails and stuff that they could perhaps use?
I think call to actions are an interesting one. I think with them, you need to be clear and concise about what you're asking the customer to do. That's the most important thing. You can have fun with the copy a little bit. You know, don't get too arty with it. You know, just keep it simple. But I mean, prior to the call of action to buy something, I think you can. There's different methods of sort of getting someone to take that action. So you could use something like FOMO is a popular one, fear of missing out, of course. So, you know, insert a deadline, a real deadline, of course. Don't just make it up. Say, you know, this offer ends in 24 hours, and then you pop back into your inbox a week later saying the offer's on again, or, you know, it's still running. You know, be genuine about it. But, you know, that's a good one. So obviously scarcity, people want something if it's going to run out. So yeah, I would recommend using FOMO as a quick tip for that. In terms of actual text copy on your call of actions, just keep it simple, keep it short, sharp, snappy. That would be my advice really on that one.
Yeah, and I remember learning about all this stuff and doing an enormous amount of research behind it, and really knowing all this stuff. But then as soon as I came to actually making my own, I read it back like a few weeks later and just thought I'd read that and go straight to the bin. Like,
yeah,
as a sales marketing, I don't want it next. Over time, you do get used to it. You do you get used to the language that people actually want to hear, and it becoming of genuine interest. And I think that's a bridge that people really need to get hold of and get customers' mind. And if they're writing it thinking this is a load of rubbish, then it doesn't help, because they'll think the same thing. So yeah, absolutely. Right, okay. Thank you very much, Andy, for coming on. You've been
pleasure.
Flagship Digital Insights. We will see you again next week. And this is Andy from Shotgun Copy. Do go and have a look at his website, and we'll see you again soon. Bye for now, everyone.